if it's alright. I wanna kick it with you all night, all night. Have a good time. Ain't gotta worry, cause it's alright, it's alright. All night, all night, all night.
Hey girls, and to my other siblings that's reading this right now, I'm here to make another video, and I know we haven't recorded a lot lately, and I'm really sorry about that. And I'm also sorry if you can't hear me too well because of how I'm feeling right now. But I did say that I would record the happy times, but also the sad times too, because we have to capture those moments too, because that's just what a vlog does. And just, I don't want to completely show only the happy times, because there are sad times too, and I want you guys to know about every moment in our lives and stuff. This is my book that was given to me for my birthday some years ago by an ex-best friend in 6th grade or 7th. And I would write my poems or anything into it. I'm sorry, I look a mess right now. I'm sorry if you can't hear me. I recently wrote a poem today because 2 days ago my boyfriend and I have broken up. Now, to my siblings that have group chats with him or has his number, I don't want you guys to go and harass him about it or text him about it, because there's just no point in doing that. And it's fine, I don't hate him, he doesn't hate me. It's just we didn't work out right now. I do have hope that maybe in the future, we'll be fine, but I just think I should tell you guys about the breakup, because I know you guys asking me about him or anything. You guys are bound to find out, so why not now? I will read it to you now. It's a little long, I'm sorry. It's literally these much pages. But I had to get things off my chest, so. Over and over again, I find myself crying. You're on your cousin's snap, middle finger up, smiling. I'm ready to give up completely, because I don't know if for our relationship it's worth fighting. You're looking like you don't have a care in the world, while I'm over here internally dying. Next month we would have celebrated a total of 9. You would have written me a paragraph, and I would have replied back with one talking about how grateful I was that you were mine. I feel like we did what we could, I think my best friend is tired of seeing me cry, and by best friend I mean my pillow. My best friend being a pillow does sound silly, but it is the truth. I ended up losing everyone, and the only thing I had left was you. But we ended up not working out, and you're just another one that's gone. But maybe this was just another learning experience, and in my past is where you belong. I won't lie, there's a whole bunch of times when you've treated me like a queen. But then again, there were a whole bunch of times when you treated me like I was a disgrace of a human being. I just felt a bit anxious just now because I thought that was your car parked across the street. I'm not ready to see you in person because the events that took place are still in my head on repeat. After seeing that video on Snap, I'm still trying to figure out if what we had meaning. After seeing that video on Snap, I'm trying to figure out if I was in love or if I was in love with the feeling. The feeling I would get when you would open doors for me. The feeling I would get when you would call me Harmony, baby, princess, my wife, goddess, or queen. The feeling I would get when Narcos was on. and you'd finally sing to me in Spanish. The feeling I would get when you would hold me in your arms and kiss my forehead until I'm falling asleep and all my problems would have temporarily vanished. The feeling I would get when you tell me not to hang up ever since day one in the talking stage because you just wanted to hear my voice. The feeling I would get when you'd encourage me to do me and not please anyone else because I do have a choice. The feeling I would get when you would hold my hand to cross the street because you know about my fear of cats and dogs. The feeling I would get when you would kiss my forehead and hold me close during a scary movie, while my eyes are squinted shut and my ears by my hands and yours were tightly clogged. The feeling I would get when you would always be so excited to read all of my stories, all my poems, and listen to me play the piano or sing. The feeling I would get when you would talk about your plans of marrying me in 2 years after I'm done with college and put on my finger a ring. The feeling I would get when wherever we were and my shoelace was untied, you'd bend down and tie it. The feeling I would get when I was in the moody phase, experimenting, and no matter how it looked, you still were so enthusiastic to try it. The feeling I would get when you would teach me a lot of common worldly slangs. The feeling I would get when you never really smiled so much at first, but with me so frequently smiled, exposing your beautiful sonrisa and sharp, attractive fangs. The feeling I would get whenever you didn't have that much money and you'd still buy me food. The feeling I would get when you'd still hold me and tell me you love me when I talked to you harshly because of my period putting me in a negative mood. The feeling I would get when you'd just sit there and listen respectfully for a very long time while I would cry to you and vent. When even you yourself was going through your own problems and weren't content. The feeling I would get when you had your mom drop you off to where I was so you could walk with me back home. You carried my heavy book bag that even had my laptop in it on the 1 hour plus walk because you didn't want me to be on the street alone. The feeling I would get when you wouldn't switch up on me with the way you expressed your love to me just because we were in front of your boys. The feeling I would get when you would immediately turn down the volume to your songs while you played Fortnite because I couldn't sleep with that noise. The feeling I would get when you would save every ticket to every movie that we had seen. The feeling I would get when you'd come for me after I've told you about my bad dream. The feeling I would get when you would hug me and kiss me so much after coming home from work and see that I'm still there. The feeling I would get when we would run around the house play fighting like little kids. With all this reminiscing, what went wrong between us just feels so very unfair. I really did love you, and I still do so much, and I do believe that a huge part of you really loved me. But there's a lot of things I wouldn't miss, like for example, the thought of not feeling free. I won't miss not being able to have guy friends because of your many insecurities. I won't miss the judgments of it and not being trusted with the follow-up of so many I'm sorries. I won't miss feeling like you can do whatever you want and make a million mistakes. Yet the first time I do something wrong, our entire relationship is at stake. Which is the reason why we're here right now. Because of the incident I managed to unintentionally, of course, create. And now I'm going through with the separation. But when it's convenient for you, you want to say, no, please, I need you. Let's just forget about this and just go on break. But I've honestly lost count of all the times that we went on break. I refuse to talk bad about what we had because I want to believe what we had wasn't fake. I'm single now, but I'm not singing all the Single Ladies by Beyonce. Because it was literally last week that a guy tried to hit on me and I told him that I'm taken by my fiance. We even carved our initials on a tree. This part's not gonna rhyme, I'm sorry. We had plans to go to your cousin's quinceañera. We had plans to go to my cousin's sweet 16. Both taking place in less than 2 months. We had plans to get married in 2 years after I graduate from college. Baby names picked out and everything. Maribel after sweet, loving, lovely girl from one of my favorite telenovelas, Ruby. And Joey, short for Joseph. Joseph Francis. Joseph and Francis were after your 2 friends that are now dead. We had plans. I remember when you proposed to me, and we were only 1 month in October of 2018, right in our school cafeteria. At 2 months, your mom gave us 2 gummy rings, saying it's for when we get married. At 3 months in December, you got me a teddy bear in Stop and Shop, while we laughed like fools but didn't have a care about how loud we were in the quiet shop. At 4 months, because it was just me and you. At 4 months in January, you finally allowed me to pay for you on your birthday when I took you to the Cheesecake Factory, even though I didn't pay it fully because it was just a little more costly than expected. And we split the money and shared so much laughter. At 5 months in February, you sent me a Bitmoji on Snapchat of your hand on top of mine that said, "Promise to always love you." At 6 months, we took both our siblings to see Venom and acted like we were parenting our own kids. We laughed because I kept tripping over their names when I tried to be stern with them because they all started with J, including your name. When I scolded you for playing around on the ice because you might slip, and literally all 3 of them followed like monkeys after you. We laughed so much that night. Then going to the laundromat together close to 12, where I pretended to not be friends with you anymore because you wouldn't let me fold with you and your sister. So I went over to the boys to sit while your brother talked to me about his crush, Lana, while I kept sending my brother over to you to brag about all the fun we were having. You got me this huge teddy bear when we left your siblings' baptism to put money in the bank for your mom. I didn't want to celebrate Valentine's Day the month before, and yet you still got it for me. You accompanied my family and I to Red Lobster's while we celebrated my brother's birthday early. At 7 months in April, we shared the memory of going to see your cousin's girlfriend and the baby she had in the hospital. You held me when I cried after receiving the news that we won't be able to see her because of her high fever. You sent me such a heartwarming paragraphs that I think had made me cry. This is what it said. I'm so glad to have added you that day on the Geo story. I'm so glad I called that day, and I'm so glad for the memories we made since then. I'm so happy about the fact I fell in love with your voice and your personality before I got to see you in person. I didn't know you had a good body till like the 3rd time I came over. But your body is a bonus because that's not what I signed up for. I signed up for a lifetime supply of happiness with the greatest woman I've ever met. I want you to be the mother of my children one day, and the reason for my daily happiness, marriage. At 8 months in May, you shared a memory with me of me turning 19 at my now favorite place, Holy Crab, in White Plains, New York. We finally met the baby, and after that went out with her dad, your cousin, for ice cream. We ended up getting into a small argument. We actually fixed the issue but we actually fixed the issue that same night, and it felt great. You looked so cute holding the baby earlier that day. All of these memories will forever stick with me, and now unfortunately the worst one. The 21st of May, I made one mistake and it led to a long conversation and eventually our breakup. I didn't talk to you that much before the breakup because you really hurt my feelings after I apologized for doing something that I didn't even realize I was doing. Multiple times you'd apologize saying you didn't realize what you were doing, and I constantly forgave you because I wanted us to work. But the one time I slipped up, that was the end. Then you start saying you just want to go on a break instead. But I've decided to stay firm with the breakup, and we decided to give it one more try. We agreed on not seeing other people for 1 month, that we agreed you would work on your trust issues, insecurities, loving yourself, etc. You led me to believe you were so broken up over everything, that you were hurting as much as I was. But then the next day I see you on your cousin's snap, middle finger up, and you're all smiles. The day before today I cried all day at school, work, and a little bit more after we finished the conversation, and then I cried a ton more after I saw that video today. Earlier I said the video gave me closure, but after spending the past 3 to 4 hours writing this, reminiscing on everything, I still love you so much, and it still hurts me so bad. You're not a bad person, and definitely not a bad boyfriend, especially for someone who's never been in a real relationship before. You just have a lot to work on. I worked on myself after my last relationship before you, and then I was ready to love someone else romantically because I finally decided to accept and love myself. Now it's your turn. You always thought it was wrong to be friends with my exes, so that's why it's probably best to follow that rule. I love you so much, but you need to love you too. Te amo, mi corazón. Y yo voy a extrañarte mucho. Adios. By Harmonica Grace / HG, because that's what he called me. Jeremiah wanted to talk on the phone, but I couldn't because I'm just hurting so much and I didn't know how to explain it all to him, and so I just decided to make this video. Then he sent me this very heartwarming thing, like he does not know what I'm going through, and he sent me something like he just, was really uplifting me, and I'm gonna post it to what he had said, and it really made me very happy. He really made me smile. Jeremiah, you really are a great kid. Even with how I'm feeling, I would still give him another chance, but just not right now, because he had texted me he texted me back, but I'm not gonna reply back to it because I just need some time and some space. But I still do have hope for us. It's just right now we're not gonna be together, and you guys like Naraya, Iman, Jeremiah, maybe you guys don't care, but I would just like you guys to know, just in case you guys want to talk about him, or me, we have a group chat with him, me, you, Iman, and Jace, that we don't even talk in anymore. But I just don't want anything to be awkward or weird if you guys trying to talk and we're not really talking or whatever it is. Just I just wanted you guys to know that stuff happened between us and we're no longer together. But it wasn't like a physical abuse or anything. It was just emotional. I think this was a really good breakup, because the way that a lot of breakups ends, things get really bad, but there's nothing really bad that really happened in my relationship. And I think I handled it in a good way. We still love each other. I'm still going to be there for him, and he will always be there for me. It's just right now, we're just going to take some time to be alone. I'm not texting that much because I just don't feel okay, and I don't want to pretend like I am, like I usually do, because sometimes I just want to take some time to cry because that makes me feel better, to let everything out. I'm sorry, girls, and we haven't posted in a long time. It doesn't really make a difference to you guys because you guys can't really see the gaps of how much we're not posting because you guys are gonna like binge watch everything anyway in the future. But I just used up like all 21 minutes of my video that's left. There's only like 20 seconds left, so I love you guys. I love you, Guy, Jeremiah, and girls. I love you so much, and I'm gonna get through this time eventually. I love you guys so, so much.
If it's alright.